Hola y buenos días. Soy el señor Morris. Soy el maestro de español. ¿Cómo están? Espero que estén muy bien. Today, we'll review like we always do, and then we'll talk about some other parts of the school that we haven't talked about yet. But let's get started. Well, how do we always get started? That's right, with our greeting song. Canten conmigo. Buenos días, ¿cómo está? ¿Cómo está? Muy bien, gracias, muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿Y usted? Good morning, good morning. How are you? How are you? Very well, I thank you. Very well, I thank you. And you. And you. Let's go ahead and go over our questions first. Now, if you know the answer, raise your hand, okay? How about this? ¿Vas a la escuela? ¿Vas a la escuela? Raise your hand. Did you say, sí? Sí. Okay, how about this? Do you recognize this one? ¿En qué año vas? ¿En qué año vas? Go ahead and answer your teacher. Okay. Now, did you answer for your grade level? Did you say en primero, if you're in first grade, en segundo, if you're in second grade, en tercero, if you're in third grade, and if you go to kindergarten, I hope you said, voy al kinder. Yeah. How about this question? ¿Cómo se llama tu maestro? Or maestra, if it's a woman. ¿Cómo se llama tu maestro o maestra? Now remember that for this one, you will answer, se llama, and then say your teacher's name. So go ahead and say that now. Se llama, and say your teacher's name. Now, teachers, I need you to keep an eye on the students and see if they stand up when I say something that describes them. Okay? You guys ready? Stand up when I say something that describes you. Voy al kinder. Voy al kinder. Okay, are all of the kindergarten students standing up? Good. Siéntense todos. How about this? Voy en primero. Voy en primero. Are all of you first graders standing up? Okay, good. Siéntense todos. Voy en segundo. Voy en segundo. Are the second graders standing up out there? Good. Good. Siéntense todos. Voy en tercero. Voy en tercero. Do I see the third graders standing up? I think I do. Good job. Siéntense. How about this one? Stand up if this describes you. Soy una alumna. Soy una alumna. Okay. Are all of the girl students standing up? All of the girl students should be standing up. But siéntense. Go ahead and sit that one down. Sit down now. How about this? Soy un alumno. Soy un alumno. Are all of the boy students standing up? Are you? Good, good. Go ahead and sit down now. Siéntense todos. Today, I'm going to show you some pictures that may have more than one of the things that I'm showing you. And you'll have to be able to count in Spanish. Okay? Well, I tell you what, let's give it a try. Look at this. Now, we should recognize this because we've been talking about this. ¿Cuántos lápices tengo? ¿Cuántos lápices tengo? You want to count up here with me here? Ready? Uno, dos. Ajá, son dos lápices. Dos lápices. Hey, how about this one? ¿Cuántos pupitres tengo? ¿Cuántos pupitres tengo? Help me count here. You ready? Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Muy bien, cuatro. Cuatro pupitres. Cuatro pupitres. All right. Let's see if you can do this one then. ¿Cuántos libros tengo? ¿Cuántos libros tengo? See if you can go ahead and count them by yourselves and tell your teacher what you think the answer is. Now let me see. Ready? Uno, dos, tres. Did you say tres libros? Is that what you said? Tres libros? Because if you did, that's the right answer. All right. Now, I want you to take a look at your school and think about it in terms of size. Now, remember when we talked about families last unit, we used these words to describe them. We said, es grande, 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 grande. Or we also said, es pequeña, es pequeña. You know what those two mean? Well, I tell you what, look around your school. ¿Tu escuela es grande o pequeña? ¿Tu escuela es grande o pequeña? Well, one way of deciding about a school size is by looking at the school building, right? Are there a lot of classrooms or salones? Well, are the classrooms the only rooms in the school? It depends on the size of your school, but they may not be. What are some of the other places in your school? What are some of the other places in your school? Raise your hand and tell the teacher some of the other places in your school. And teachers, if you want to pause me while you talk about this in your class, I understand. Go ahead and take a minute now. Well, here are some of the other places in the school that I thought about. Okay? The first one is where you go to eat. If you go to eat in your school, you probably go to la cafeteria. La cafeteria. That's right, and this looks like cafeteria, doesn't it? Cafeteria. Ooh, and I love to eat in the cafeteria. Great, great food. Another place in your school is el patio de recreo. And this is probably where you go when you have recess. You might go out here for PE. You might go out here after lunch. Yeah, this is like the playground, isn't it? El patio de recreo. And how about this place? Oh, here they've got a computer in here. They've got a phone and some desks. They've got a plant hanging there. Yeah, this is the place where the principal works, right? And this is called la dirección. Can you guys say that? La dirección. And what would we call this in English? The office. That's right, the office. Well, is the principal the only one who works in the office? Not in the schools where I've been. There's somebody else who's really important who works in the office. Somebody who sends out a lot of the notes, and if you're going to be sick, you call this person to let them know that you're not going to be at school. That's the secretary, right? They're some of the best people in the schools where I've worked. Yeah, in Spanish, she's called la secretaria. Well, we took a visit over to South Beaver School to look at their school and some of the people who work in their school. And they helped us review a lot of the things that we've been talking about in this unit. So let's go ahead and review now with this video about South Beaver School. Presten atención y repitan todos.
Esta es la escuela South Beaver. Es una escuela pequeña. Esta es la dirección. El señor Brown es el director. La señora Bojorges es la secretaria.
Hola, bienvenidos.
Este es el salón de la señora Galda.
Hola, yo soy la maestra.
Hola, me llamo Jasmine, yo soy una alumna. Hola, yo me llamo Arturo, yo soy un alumno. Hola, este es mi pupitre. Este es un libro. Este es un lápiz. Esta es una hoja de papel. ¿Qué aprendemos en la escuela? El alfabeto y los números.
¡Adiós!
Esta es la cafetería. Este es el patio de recreo. Esta es la escuela South Beaver.
Wow. So, ¿qué aprendemos en la escuela? Yeah, and they told us there, el alfabeto, the alphabet, y los números, right? Well, South Beaver's a pretty good sized school, isn't it? Well, another way that you can find out about a school size is if you have a map of the school, right? Well, I tell you what, we're going to kind of look at a map with different parts of the school today with today's activity sheet called El Mapa de la Escuela. Here we go. There it is. Go ahead and start off by putting your name up at the top. Voy a escribir mi nombre. Roberto. And I hope you guys are writing your names on these. Well, down here at the bottom, we see the key. And let's look at that real quick first. It says, La directora. El salón, la alumna, el maestro, el alumno, la cafetería, el patio de recreo, el pupitre, el lápiz, el libro y el papel. Okay, well, let's go on up here. The instructions say, use the letters in the key to label the people, places, and things on the map. Well, let's see this first one here, where all the kids are playing. Yeah, do you remember what that's called? In English, what is it? It's the playground. Y en español, es el patio de recreo. And we see that one, it's right down here, it's letter G. So all we have to do is write the letter G right up here. G. Pretty easy, huh? How about this one over here? Who is this man? He's the teacher. En español es el maestro. And if we look down here at our key, we can see that el maestro is letter D. So we're going to write letter D for el maestro. What's this thing, the one that you sit at to do your work? Your desk. Y en español es, do you remember? El pupitre. El pupitre, that's letter H. So we'll write that right underneath this one. Letter H. What is this? A book. Y en español, El libro, and if you look down here on your key, we'll see that libro is letter J. Letter J. So we're going to write that right there. Okay. What is she? She's a girl student, or una alumna. Okay. La alumna. Can you find that in the answer key? Can you find that? What letter is that? Letter C. Letter C is la alumna. Let's look over here. What do we have in this one? Here's a boy student. Do you remember what he's called? Alumno. El alumno. And do you see that down there? Remember, this one's going to end with O, isn't it? Because it's a boy. El alumno. What letter is that? Can you see it? That's right. It's letter E. Letter E. El alumno. What about these things? This is what we used to write on. In English, it's paper. In Spanish, it's almost the same. Papel. Papel. What letter is that? Look through your answer key. It's letter K. Letter K. How about this? Oh, like I have right here, huh? A pencil. Y en español, el lápiz. El lápiz. Do you see that in the answer key? It's letter I. Let's look down here. What do we call this place here? There are desks, and there's chairs, and there's a bulletin board that you put things on. This is your classroom, and that in Spanish is called el salón. El salón is letter B. How about this place here where you go to eat your lunch or your breakfast? And that's almost the same in English and Spanish, isn't it? Cafeteria is la cafeteria. Do you see what letter that is? Letter F. Write your letter F. And this woman here, she's in charge of the school. She's the principal. In Spanish, she's called la directora. Letter A. Letter A. Okay, so there you go. That's your activity sheet for today. So I hope you got a chance to follow along and do all of those with us. Well, let's see. Today we reviewed the things that we've been talking about so far in this unit. These things should be getting kind of familiar to you by now. And then we talked about some of the other places in the school. Now remember to keep practicing all of these things every day so that you'll really know them well. ¿Saben qué? Ya es hora de despedirnos. Let's go ahead and sing our goodbye song together. Adiós, queridos amigos, que les vaya muy, muy bien. Adiós, queridos amigos, y cuídense también. Very good. Until our next class. Adiós y hasta luego.